Thermostat wiring and control logic. Welcome thermostat wiring and control logic. In this class, we'll break down thermostat terminals, wire colors, control sequences, and what each signal actually does inside the air conditioning system. If you've ever looked at a thermostat and wondered, what do all these letters mean? You're in the right place. Let's begin. Thermostat terminals and wire colors. Here are the most common thermostat terminals and their usual wire colors. R, red, 24-volt power from the transformer. C, blue or black, common side of the 24 volts. G, green, indoor fan, blower motor. Y, yellow, cooling signal to the contactor. W, white, heating signal to electric heat or furnace. O or B, orange or blue, reversing valve signal for heat pumps. O energizes in cooling. B energizes in heating. Aux, white or pink, auxiliary heat, usually backup heat on a heat pump system. E, gray, emergency heat mode. L, system status indicator, used with advanced thermostats. Remember, the colors are just a convention. Always verify with a meter or system schematic where the power comes from. Let's understand the flow of power. The transformer inside the air handler takes 240 volts from the circuit breaker and steps it down to 24 volts AC. One wire, typically red, becomes your R terminal. The other wire, typically blue or black, is the C wire, or common. This 24-volt circuit runs through the thermostat and tells the air handler and condenser what to do. If the thermostat has batteries, the C wire is optional, but for smart thermostats, the C wire is required. Control logic. What happens when you call for cooling? When the room is too hot, the thermostat closes. R to Y sends 24 volts to the contactor outside. Turning on the compressor R to G energizes the blower relay inside the air handler. If it's a heat pump, R to O will energize the reversing valve to switch to cooling mode. All of this is 24 volts. It's just control logic. But that logic controls 240-volt motors, so it's critical to understand the signal flow. What happens when you call for heating? If you're using electric heat, R to W energizes the electric heating relay. R to G may also energize the blower, depending on the setup. Heat pump, R to W brings on supplemental heat. R to B may switch the reversing valve if it uses B instead of O. The logic is always the same. Thermostat connects 24 volts from R to whichever terminal is needed. Common thermostat wiring example. Heat pump with electric backup, R red, 24 power from transformer. C blue, common. Y yellow, cooling contactor. G green blower, O orange reversing valve for cooling. W white auxiliary heat. E pink or gray emergency heat. This thermostat is sending signals to both indoor and outdoor components. Important notes. The O or B terminal only energizes when in heat pump mode. You must know if your system uses O or B, never both. Use the common wire C if you're installing smart thermostats. Some thermostats combine terminals internally. Always read the manual. Use a multimeter to confirm 24 volts between R and C. If you lose 24 volts anywhere in the circuit, nothing will work. Bonus tip: safety devices in the R circuit. Before the red R wire reaches the thermostat, it must pass through safety devices in series. The float switch in the drain pan. The drain line shutoff switch, like an AG84. Sometimes the electronic board. These are normally closed switches, but if the pan fills or the drain clogs, the switch opens and the entire 24-volt control circuit is broken. That shuts down the system to prevent water damage. Technicians must understand this when diagnosing a unit that won't turn on. Testing thermostat signals. Use your multimeter and test between R and C should have 24 volts, Y and C when cooling is called W and C when heating is called, G and C when fan is on or auto with a call. No voltage? Check the float switch, fuse, or transformer.